Hello middle-aged gamers, this is Crane from Middle Age Gaming, and today we are going to talk about AMD's unveiling of the Radeon 6000 series of GPUs. I know we're a little bit late to the game, but here's a take for an older person. We are old and don't have time to go over the technical details, so I want to give you the lowdown of what cards you should be buying and when they are released. Let me preface this by saying I don't have any of these cards. AMD didn't pay me any money, nor have I tested them. The information I'm about to give you today is just from AMD's website, which you can see on the screen, the news, and my own personal experience. As you can see that we are looking at the Radeon homepage. Today I want to focus on the Radeon 6800 because its price will be on par with the PS5 or the Xbox Series X. I think most of us older gamers are thinking about what to buy come this holiday season. My vote, to save you some time, is to get a Radeon 6800. Now let me explain what that is. It's affordable, which is most important part. Most of us have families and are middle income people besides being middle aged. We don't have a ton of money to spend on gaming nor a ton of time. So we need the most bang for our buck. And if you are in your 30s or late 30s and are a gamer, you probably have a decent PC that you have been upgrading every now and then. If you don't have a 4K monitor, then the 6800 is really going to kick your 1080p gaming or 1440p gaming into high gear for a minimal cost. If you are thinking about getting a 4K monitor, then this is the perfect graphics card to deliver decent performance without breaking the bank. If you have a 4K monitor, then this is the perfect card for you. It is going to give you above 30 frames per second for all modern games, and at our age, we don't need much else. So let's have a look at some benchmarks. As you can see, these are pretty good. Alright, so first I want to show you guys the price. As you can see, the AMD Radeon RX 6800, $579 US. This is from Serve the Home. $579 in Taiwan prices is about 18,000 Taiwan dollars. Really good price. I mean, if you're thinking about it, you're buying your Xbox Series X or your PS5. I mean, you're paying a little bit more than that, but the key thing, and Adam and I have talked about this in our past podcast, is that you in your 30s or late 30s already have an extensive game collection. And if you already have a PC, if you already have quite a lot of games, this is going to be able to push these games to 4K. A lot of modern games have 4K resolution, so this is just the best thing, the best bang for your buck at the moment. So let's go back to the card. As you can see, this is the card. It's a fairly big card. I wouldn't worry too much about it if you're in your late 30s. Your PC probably has space for this. AMD has said that this isn't going to be the largest card ever. You can see the size over there, 267 millimeters with 120 millimeters. So it's going to take 2 slots. But again, as someone in their 30s, you probably already have a computer capable of handling this graphics card. So now let's look at some benchmarks. This is for the RX 6800, the $580 card, which you just saw just now. Let's look at Borderlands 3, which is what I just played on 4K quite recently with a friend of mine. This is at Badass Valley, which I just played everything on high. I mean, here's the 6800. That's 50 frames per second. I'm lucky if I get 30 frames per second on my current system. That's awesome. I mean, more than 50 frames per second, probably like 55 frames per second, 55.25. That's awesome. Alright, let's look at the Division 2, which is something I've also played at 4K. Alright, so another cool thing is, right, I want to mention this, the 6800 comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. My GTX 1080 comes with 8 gigabytes. Now let me tell you, when I first got this card and I played Batman Arkham Knight at 4K, I mean, it would use almost all the RAM on the actual card. And I think as games are released in 2020, 2021, they're going to use more and more RAM. So definitely 16 gigabytes is the way to go. And as you can see, this is even better than Borderlands. This runs at 62.47 frames per second at 4K and ultra detail. Again, my dream is to run a game at ultra detail. Let's look at one more game, a new game, Doom Eternal. Now, Doom Eternal is another cool story. Look at that, Jesus Christ! But this is using Vulkan, Ultra Nightmare difficulty, almost 120 frames per second at 4K. I've got the regular Doom. I haven't bought Doom Eternal yet. So this is also counting into fact the 5900X, the RAM, the X570 motherboard. So that's something you need to take into account. But as an old-time gamer, forget all of that. Just get a 6800 card. No matter if you don't have the most ideal specs, it's going to improve your gaming regardless of what your system is. In conclusion, I've always wanted to say that. Stay away from NVIDIA cards. Now let me tell you, I've used NVIDIA my whole life up until this day. But with the 6800 coming out this month, I'm going to get an AMD card. Regardless of what the reviews say, I think this is something that AMD is working on, and even if it's not great when it comes out of the gate, it's gonna get much better, and it is gonna provide bang for your buck for somebody who doesn't game a lot. And with that, that is the end of the video. If you liked today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and hope to see you all next time.